Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon from wherever you are. My name is Bisola. I'm the founder of Use and Tech. So I'm going to do like a little background about Use and Tech. So in case you've not heard about us before, and this is the first time you are hearing about us, you have an idea of who we are. So we are a platform dedicated to closing the gender gap between women and technology, and that's because there's like a vast difference. There's a vast women and technology space. Women often think that technology is difficult. Women often think that it's a male dominated industry. We've been doing this for the past 3 years now, and our niche is non coding. So we do not do anything that has to do with coding on our platform. A technology business always has support staff working with them. So we offer courses that are non coding related. So we have business analysis, we have data analytics, we have data governance, we have product design, product marketing, we have bioinformatics. This is for people in the health sector and want to venture into health tech, for instance. We have Salesforce CRM, we have like host of others. And before the end of this year, we want to have launched 100 courses on her platform. Right. So a little about us. I started my career journey in tech about 10 years ago, and I did not touch a line of code. I've worked with companies like Oracle Corporation, and I've also worked with startups here in Africa. I've seen, families lose their job to digitization or due to not understanding how agile methodologies work and how organizations want to move forward, but they are not equipped. So basically, our platform is an upskilling platform, right? Which means that it's a beginner friendly course. You can start a new career path when you take up a course on our platform, right? And then of course today's family needs like adequate, some adequate income to survive. All of these courses pay well, right? So it's important that we actually position ourselves to be able to take on these jobs, whether we are in the diaspora or wherever we find ourselves in Africa. So we are fully online. We've trained from 22 countries for our paid students, and then unpaid students, 100 people from 100 countries. 100 countries actually have taken advantage of our trainings. So our trainings are hands-on. We do not do certificates at the moment, and we do not do theory. So it means that when you come on our platform, you are guaranteed of getting of working on a case study that you can use to apply for a job, and then also which helps reinforce your training in classes, right? You are paired with a facilitator who ensures you get value for our training. And our classes are I think our classes are small, which means that in a class you would be guaranteed that you are not like 100 in a class or lost in class. We boast of like maximum of 25 students in a class. So by 2020 we want to have reached out to 100 million African women across. And guess what, we have the men support us to by enrolling in our course, and for that we are grateful. Our students work in organizations like Accenture, Amazon. That's for people in Salesforce. If you understand Salesforce, there's a space for you in these organizations. They also work in banks here in Africa, like Sterling Bank, UBA. They work with the government of Canada in Saskatchewan, in Manitoba. They also work in TD Bank, of course, in Canada. And then we have some of them in TELUS also, and then some organizations in the UK, and also startups here in Africa. So today we'll be talking about launching your career in data governance. This is because we've had starting your career in data governance. If you've not watched the webinar, you can reach out to our team to request for the webinar. But right now we've assumed that you've taken some courses with us at Hills and Tech, or maybe online, and you are wondering, how do I launch my career as a data governance, right? Data governance specialist. So we'll be bringing on our facilitator for today, who is Mr. Seun. Mr. Seun has been doing this for decades now and is well experienced in the data governance sector. So, Mr. Seun, I would be making you the host now, and of course, also invite you um, over. So, in 1 second, you'll be the host. So thank you, Mr. Sean, for honoring our invitation. Thank you for coming on board. Please do not mind me. You can share your video. Right, I'm unable to turn on my video.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, clearly.
Okay, that's good news. Let me first move myself to what I think where it's easier, because I just realized that I'm not plugging my computer. I don't want it to go off when I'm not my internet. So, okay. Thank you for having me, Isola, and you are doing a fantastic and amazing work with Hills and Tech, and I'm sure you go from strength to strength. I'm praying that God will keep you and help you even do greater things than you've done already with Hills and Tech. You've changed lives, and I am one of those people that are blowing your trumpet everywhere. And Hills and Tech is doing amazing. So,
Thank you.
oh, okay. So welcome everyone. This is that virtual meeting, which is great, where if you would like to, you can say something about yourself in the background, your name, where you're joining from, what you're doing at the moment. We don't have the opportunity when it's virtual to say, you just tell us what you're doing. So it's virtual, so it's also an opportunity for you to interact. If you can, just mention where you're joining from, what you're doing currently, or anything like that. That would be great. Okay. So on the interim, while that is going on, I will just use the opportunity to launch my screen. Let me start sharing my screen. I hope I can. I'm not seeing the option to share my screen. Okay, good. It's here now. Thank you. Because my screen is Yes, can you see my screen now? Hello, are you able to see my screen? I want to be sure you can see my screen.
Yeah. Yes, we can.
Okay,
We're
good.
replying via chat.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Oh, okay, good. Good. So today what we want to talk about in brief is how you can break into data governance career, what it is not. And if you have any questions, I'll just take maybe half an hour or less to just go through this quickly. You can shoot those questions. If you don't have enough time to cover in this webinar, you can drop an email and we'll respond to you or find a way to arrange the sort of answers. Hopefully I've covered your questions in my presentation, or probably the previous webinar. You can always recall to that as well and maybe find some answers in there. So let me start quickly by asking the question, which most of the time, that's one question I get asked all the time. What actually is this data governance? So data governance is is quite a new niche or a new field within IT space. And some companies have gone busted because of data running into problem with the authorities, or getting hacked, or data issues, compliance issue, regulatory issue, management issues, and it poses a question of who is responsible? Who is responsible? That is where data governance come in. Okay, so data governance, from my definition here, which many people will define as different things, I've just put two here, is establishing and maintaining a consistent set of rules, policies, procedures for the management of data within an organization. So organizations have come to a place where they realize that they have to see data as an asset. Right now, data is more valuable to organizations than money. Take it, because data can be transferred into money at any time, even if they lose their physical currencies. See, so data is treated as an asset, a very, 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 very big, massive asset now in terms of corporate or enterprise resources. So they've considered data as oil, just saying that data is the new oil. So data governance helps organizations to ensure the availability, the quality, the accuracy, security of their data, as well as to be able to make better decisions based on that data. That is where you come in. See, so that is what data governance is in essence. It's great because you'll be able to do this as a data governance analyst for any employer that you get into. The slides are quite interesting, so I'm trying to tell myself not to go much into it because I will get there on my slides. So just in brief, if you're thinking, what exactly is this data governance? That is what data governance is. You will be that anchor person in the organization that is working like when you say governance is from the word government. What does governments do? They provide an environment, an enabling environment. They provide resources. They cater for everyone. They are responsible for everybody. So you are responsible for the data in the company, okay, for how it is managed, for how it is used, excuse me, for how it is disbursed, for how it is deleted, even removed or stored, and all this. So you create set of rules, policies, procedures for people to be able to interact with data. Imagine if data is money. So you're telling people this is how we want to spend the money. So I want to keep the money. This is what we use for this. How we do. So that is exactly what you will be doing as a data governance analyst in an organization. I've already started mentioning why it is important. It's very important because when people lose the value of their data, they are losing money. When people don't capitalize, or let me say, when organizations don't capitalize on the resource which data is, on the opportunity of being able to sell more, for example, know their target audience or target clients or target customers, for example, be able to predict what their earning is, what their losses are, what their prospective earnings would be, where they're getting their materials from, where they're getting most of their clients from. Data tells the company or the organization a lot of things. A lot of information comes from data, and that is where some people are working. Some people are working in an area you must have heard about, data analytics, business analysis and stuff like that. Some people work in those areas where they are trying to help the organization make sense of those multitude of data that is running. Now, data runs at zeta billion, a lot, data keep expanding more and more. And so organizations are trying to be on top of data. It's not an easy task. However, our job as a data governance analyst or person is to bring government, is to bring order, is to bring governance to this resource of data. Okay, so it's very important. With data governance, organizations are able to effectively manage data, and they are better positioned to succeed in the competitive market because the edge a company has is their data. The edge you have is your data. You can use your data to predict or to parallel what you're doing against what another company is doing. If you're doing, say, 1,000 sales, another company is doing 2,000 sales, you can use that information or that data to strategize what to do differently, where you should be thinking of, or what area of business you're going in. So, I mean, data does everything. So our data is very, very important, in the organization. Another thing is that it helps the organization to make better decisions, to comply with regulations, to protect data from unauthorized access all disclosure. So that's all the things that governance help the organization to do with their data. So it's very important. Data governance is so important for every organization. And I have a question here. I want to pose that question to you and ask you, can you think of any benefit that you think data governance, from my explanation, would make to a company if someone, or let me say, if there is no data governance, what could go wrong? Or what are the benefits that you think data governance can bring? So it's a two-in-one question. If something goes wrong because there is no data governance, that brings the importance why it should be there. Or you can say, oh, I think this is another benefit that it brings to the company. So I want to ask anyone in the group, if you would like to just jump in and just say what you think from my explanation could be a benefit that data governance would bring to the table. Yes, Chidima.
Good afternoon. Data governance can protect an organization from litigations. Litigation that may arise when data is compromised or enters into the wrong hands, like hackers or their competitors.
Absolutely, you're correct. You're correct. Data governance would help to mitigate the occurrence of litigation. Yes, that's an advantage. Thank you very much. Does anyone have another idea they want to throw on at this point? Any other suggestion, any other benefit we can find out from data governance? That's great, at least without even going to the training, you already know, like, this is, so that's good. That's good. That's good. All right, let me move on. So let's go into it a little bit. Say, what are the requirements? What are the prerequisites? What should you have? What should you be able to do? What are the prerequisite requirements for being a data governance analyst or for getting into data governance as a career? It's quite simple. You can see it on your screen. I'm sure some people might be disappointed or they might be shocked that there is no some alarming coding languages. Maybe you have to be able to do Python or Java or C++, or maybe do Nodes or any of those programming language. For you to be a data governance analyst or manager, you don't need those coding stuff. It's zero coding, okay? The core things that you would need are the ones I've put in here. If you have a degree, you study to a degree, it's advantageous. So don't take that away. If you already studied your degree or master's, whatever, it's great. It's great. It looks good on your CV. However, let me make it clear that if you don't have those as well, it's not like, oh, now let me leave, let me go away. They won't, I won't get it. No, that is not the case. What you really need, the most fundamental thing you need, is to be able to use Microsoft applications. Your Word, PowerPoint, Excel, those three especially are very important because you'll be using maybe PDF. Yeah, you can always convert Word to PDF, because probably you're going to be using your Word documents to create a policy and then transfer it into PDF so that you can put it on your intranet, on your company, or on your company policy page. That these are policy on this. If you go to a certain company website, maybe CNN.com, you will find our policy statement or anything like that. You'll find those things there. So some of those policies, you'll find that they have also data policies there that tells you how they interact with data, how they use it. They're ethical, or let me say, yeah, their ethical use of data or ethical compliance to data or regulations that they have to follow in use of data. You would be in those areas. So what do you need? All you need is just Microsoft application to do those. Excel to have a record, to track things, to report things. You need to be able to use an Excel. PowerPoint, you need the PowerPoint because you'll be doing many, excuse me, you'll be doing many presentations. Sorry, the weather here is cold. In case you are not from outside, this side is cold. So, so sometimes you just catch the cold, either you are looking for it or sometimes it's looking for you. So forgive me, my voice is still a bit like that. So yeah, so like, as I was saying, the idea is that you get to a place where you need those applications. So let me leave it at that. Number two, communication. You'll be communicating at all levels. This role, I'll get there in a bit, but this role is a management role. It's a mid-management role. So you are coming in from the management aspect, which is great. Many people don't start their career from that place. There's only very few career, if you are at all, that you start at this level, like at the management level. There is only few. So this is a career where you start in at a management level. And at that level, you must have good communication skill for the people at the top, for the people under, in the hierarchy. You must be able to communicate very well, engage people, constructive conversations. You must be able to give people information in a way that is easy, concise, and relatable. It's not, so communication is very important. Communication is very important. So communication skills is important. So it's one of those things you need. You refine on that. I'm not telling you about mathematics or stuff like that. I'm telling you basic things. So application, Microsoft application, secondly, is your communication skill. You need to be able to communicate, engage, tell people, be clear. I would like us to do this, by this. Thank you, Jack. I'll come back to you. Or if somebody asks you something, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not able to answer you now. I'll come back to you. Let me find out and I'll get back to you. And good way of communicating to people is very important. Let me move on to the next one. Ability to read and write fluently. When I was putting this, I thought everybody should know that. But no, let me still put it there. Your ability to read and write fluently. You will be writing policies for the company. You can't put gun inside it. You can't put bullets in those policies. No, it's not forgivable. So you have to be going up to, don't we make mistakes? Absolutely, we make mistakes. That is where applications like Grammarly or some other ones are there. So that when you've constructed your emails, you want to shoot an email to your CEO or your CIO or your CDO or any of this stuff, put it in Grammarly, put it on website, check it, check the spelling, check it's fine, send it. It speaks well of you. Don't just, this is not WhatsApp chat that you can send something and instead or typo. I would say typo, like, excuse it. No, at that level, don't make some mistakes that might not look well on you. So ability to read and to write, okay, is very important. Also, ability to lead, to set clear directions, to motivate, like I said before, to lead. We want the company to interact with data this way and all that. You have to lead those discussions, those conversations. You have to be able to lead them. You have to be able to set those directions. We are moving from premise storage now to cloud storage. What does it mean? It means you can't bring in flash drive to store information anymore. It means you can't store them on hard drive anymore. We are disabling those things. We are protecting our stuff with this partner in the cloud, or we have now Azure license that makes sure that we can store our data safely in the cloud. These are the parameters you need. You need your login, sign in, yes, blah, 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 blah. And all. But after you've said that, it's not there. You also motivate. You motivate by engaging people. Ask people, do you think you like the idea? Or do you think it would be a problem? Let people tell you, oh, I don't want to store it in the cloud. I'm used to storing on my flash drive. It's a problem. You have to motivate them. Oh, no, we can't store in the flash drive anymore because flash drive carry viruses. And sometimes those viruses are what leads to hackers having access to our system. One day you find out the system is gone. Why? Because of just one flash drive. Or you give people reasons why they should do things. They're not just a boss. You're motivating them, giving them reason, encouraging them to go to change, because people normally resist change. So you have to warm them up into those changes. So this is very important. All right. Last, second to last is good character and attitude. Be bold, smile, be warm, warm up to people. Do you understand? Be bold, smile, have a good character, have a good attitude. Even on your bad day, joke about it. Do you understand? Even in your mistakes, joke about it. Be friendly, be open, be warm, and all that, so that people would be able to respond to your motivation. If you have a repulsive character, it won't be good. It won't be good. Okay, I've heard of people who started work and a month after the company has laid them off. Why? Because they are not able to engage with their data stewards. They're not able to engage with other data roles within the organizations. You know, their data owners and champions and SMEs and technicals and architects. They're not able to interact well with them. People don't understand what they're saying. They're not clear. They are, you know, they are moody. They are bossing people around. You know, making people feel less of themselves. Telling people, "How can you do that?" Or that, do this, and be like, "Who be these?" You know, like what's up? You know, so you have to have a good character and good attitude all the time. Be bold, smile, warm, okay? And last, which I put this on the net, is be disposed to learn in every environment. You must be an ardent learner, you know, and that starts from your training. Your training is not the end. Always learn. I am always learning. Always learn, always learn, always try to improve. Okay, very, very, very important. Always learn, always try to improve. So you get to an office, learn, watch, read, watch people, understand who is who do you understand? You know, that's well, that will come in when we get into training, how to spot who is who in the company, how to make your friends, you know, how to make strategic friendships, you know, and what skills to learn. Learn what, you know, every organization is different. You can be David in this organization and go to the organization and you're looking like Goliath, you know, or something like that, you know. So you want to learn, you want to learn in every environment where you are. You have to be able to learn, be receptive, you know, to what is the culture here, stuff like that, so that you can have a good career in or a good, you know, experience at that place. All right. So those are what I would consider as the requirements. And I'm pleased to let you know that I've not set you any target of you have to go and learn this particular tool, we have to learn this particular coding system language or anything like that. These are basic skills that everyone should have. You know, administrative skill, of course, communication skill, and everything else is there. No question at this time. Good. So let me now ask you, or let me, before I ask, let me say, okay, good. My question is this. What can we offer you from this course? If you come on to say, oh, I think I'm enjoying this data governance stuff and I would really love to jump into it. I think I'm enjoying it. I think it's something like for me, I want to do this. Okay, good. So how can we convince you that this is the right place to come? This is what we have for you, or this is what we are offering, and so on and so forth. One, we are offering you a solid foundational knowledge that builds you up for the career, you know, or to get you into all the foundation of basic tenets of data governance. What are those tools that you need for this career? What are those things, you know, what are those what would you be doing? What should your day-to-day look like? We break it down for you. You have the knowledge so that you know what the expectation is from the word go through the classes. Very, very, very informative classes. Next is that we put you into practicals. We from just classes, we begin to set you assignments, you know, we give you assignments to do, you know. Our last class, my students were always swimming in assignments. Like someone was in like it reminds them of when they were in primary school. That's why I always give them assignment. And I said, yeah, that is what keeps you because our classes are weekly, and I don't want you to get into where you lost the steam between the next class and the other class. So I'm giving you assignments so you can pick up the task. This is what you're going to get into. Go and do this, present this policy, write this SOP, do this and all that by time, you know. So for every class, you are going to go home with a task to do guarantee, and you have two of that every week. I'm sorry if you have kids and everything like that. I know it's difficult and everything. We'll still help you make sure that you complete and you complete knowing all that you have to know, either we bend, we break. And so of course we're flexible, but you'd have those to help you strengthen your knowledge and your stability or stamina in on the training and to go on into the stuff. Another one is project. Now that you've gone through your practicals, we'll put you up in the pairs or trials or groups to work on certain projects. Say, this is give you like certain scenario to say, for example, you are going to a greenfield organization There is no roles determined for data. There is no ownership. They're bringing you in to create sort of a scenario, to create sort of data governance framework. What are you going to do? So you brainstorm with your colleagues. What are you going to do? You know, and then you can present it to the class. Okay, so you can present that to the class like, this is what we are doing. All right, this is where we are. You know, this is what we've come up with and stuff like that. You know, so it's very important that we create those avenues for you so that you be able to know how it's done in the real world. Because in the real working environment, you will not be working alone, because we have said that data governance is this and is that, and you know, and all that, doesn't mean that you will be doing this on your own. No, you'll be doing it in consultation with people. Even when you have come up with your policy, you're going to run your policy through different people. Head of the data, if the person is there, if you have head of data, or head of chief data officer, or chief information officer, or chief technical officer, or something like that. You're going to run your data through. You're going to also run even your policy through your people you're going to lead this out with. Formulating this policy for this. Can you go through and see if it's something you understand? Because if that person does not understand it, maybe nobody else will understand what English you put together. You know, so that's how you learn how to work with different people within the organization. Okay. So, oh, sorry, gone to the one now. How can I go back? Good. So next is we prepare you for interviews. Before we even get to interviews, first thing is your CV. Once you're starting the course, one of the things that I ask for, which I've asked you also to do, is just tell me what you're doing and what you're doing. So one of the things that I try to do once you start the course is to bring you into a place where you submit your CV and we understand where you are, so that we can help you to tailor a CV that is appealing to recruiters. I used to say this, that CVs are like your visa or something like that. You know, if the recruiter is not asking you to come for an interview, you can't get a job. And now what will make the recruiter ask you to come for an interview? Because they've seen that your CV is appealing, it's inviting, it is warm. Like, who is this person behind? I want to meet this person. So we want to help you with tips on how to get that CV in such a way that you are noticed and you can be calling for interview. And one of the things we do is that we help you with your interview. So we do interview prep. In fact, our last practical session is interview role play. I'll bring in other governance analysts and program managers into the room, and then they'll start throwing questions at you. Now, prove yourself. You know, you want to get a job. Somebody will be out there asking you questions, and this is a question that will be asking you. These people are in the job, they know what to ask. But if they are the panel listening to you, are they likely to give you the job? If this is yes, then fine. If it's no, they say, oh no, don't say that. Say this, say this. This is how you approach this question. Don't answer that question that way, or do this, or these are the scenarios, or something like you can use as scenarios to buttress this. You've said it well, but you need also to always remember to use star, you know, situation, you know, what his expectation is, what the resolution, and then what you do and stuff to answer your question and stuff like that. So that is part of what we offer. And lastly, is that we offer ongoing support. We want to make sure that you get that your first job at least. Once you have your first job, of course, you can go on course. You can do scuba diving, or you could fly from the plane. That's fine. But we want to make sure that you are able to land at least your first role. All right. So we have a community where you will be thrown in the pool to banter and ask questions and do this. I personally would not leave you alone. I would make sure I'm on your case to say, what are you doing? Don't throw away your knowledge. I want to see you get on, start working. And when you start working as well. So I have people who are working who ask me, what does this mean? What does this mean? This is what it means. Read about this. You buy this book, or do this, or go for that, you know. And you know, and support also will be pushing you towards other certifications that you can do, other learning you can do on the side. Like I said, I'm always learning, you know, so I'll also be leading you on to also keep learning. Okay. So that is what we offer. And I bet to say that you will not find that I don't want to say you can find it anywhere, but let me say you'll not find that in many places you find at all. Okay, that people are actually after you to secure, not that they tell you they have trained you and that's the end. I've trained you, go away. No, I don't believe that. I believe I want to not just train you, but get you into why you trained in the first place, and then I'll be satisfied. Okay, so that's what is in this package. Okay, so in conclusion, I think I'm doing well with time. I hope. Oh, shoot. All right, cool. So in conclusion, I want to say that data governance is an exciting and a growing field. This career will secure you having a job for your lifetime. Data would not come to an end in another 100 years or 200 years. IT is always an evolving field. You know, there was a time of megabytes, petabytes, internet, 3G, 2G, 4G, 5G, maybe to get 100G one day. The internet is all, or IT is always evolving and always evolving. But guess what? Data is what data is not changing from now till another 200 years. Data will be changing in terms of format, but data as a discipline, you know, in governance and managing as a discipline, is not going to change. Now we're already talking about data mesh. That is to say, getting all the information, analyzing it into one source, you know, and stuff like that. You know, so it's involving to say governance is like trying to get on top of many data. We are getting data now from everywhere. Data before used to be just on the computer, but now we have wearables. Our wristwatches now are wearables, you know. There was also one of the TED talk was about someone who was saying that future of communication is not to be in your face, that we won't have a handheld phone anymore, that what we're going to have is something like this on your pocket, and it's a phone, it appears in your palm and you can talk to it. You won't have to put something in your ear. Everybody will know you're having a phone call, you know, and stuff like that. You know, things are changing. What are we doing? Everything that I'm talking about is producing data. Cars are now becoming automated. We want cars that can you know, can drive you from here to here without eating anybody, park itself when it's starting to park, leave when it's starting to observe, red light. What is happening? Those things are coming from data. You know, data is used to manage and to drive those technology. Because so your job is secured for like your life, at least for your lifetime. Nobody here will live up to 200 years. So I'm sure you are guaranteed that job lifetime. Two is that this is a globally recognized career field or certification. You know, you'd be able to work not just in your locality, maybe say Lagos or Abuja or Congo, whatever. Be able to work outside. That shows in the developed nations, you'll be able to work there. You wouldn't get here and somebody said, you can't do this here. For example, certain fields, like, you know, once you leave a particular locality or local area, you have to retrain or do something, whatever. But it's not the same with data governance. No, you are able to work once you move to another place. All right, so it's important. It's very good. This is a good catch in there. Another thing is that you would increase your earnings. I don't know what you're earning right now, but I can guarantee that with the sort of figures that we see in data governance, it's mouth-watering. You want to be here. You want to work here. You want to get a job as a data governance manager, analyst, or lead analyst, or anything like that in data governance space. You want to be there. People are making money, you know, free. I mean, people are making money. You talking, say, I'm in the UK, for example. You can be talking about maybe if you're very, very basic, it might be offering you, say, 300 pounds a day to like 700 pounds a day job, you know. So you calculate that, you know that that is good money. All right. So yeah, but what I'm saying is that you be able to make good money. All right. Let me jump to the next one. You can work remotely or hybrid, even internationally. That is another advantage. With data governance, you're able to work remotely. I work, I don't want to give you too much information, but I'm working in one of the places I work for. I did not even go there at all. I did not until the day I start, there I finish. I did not even go there. They sent me the machine I'm going to use, and when it was all right, that's it. God bless you. That's it. And I'll say I'm one that I'm going once a month. So one I'm going twice a month and all that, you know, or when the need arise, you know. And there's some that they ask you to come once a week, you know, to the office, come once a week, and some twice a week in the office and some. So it depends. I mean, it depends. I'm just saying that there is flexibility in this kind of work. And there's some other opportunity to work outside. You know, I've gotten some offers say, can you manage in Portugal or something? I just wanted to come once a month or twice a month. And that way the rest you work from your house, you know, Dubai, you know, UAE and stuff like that. So yeah, there are opportunities to work abroad, you know, work remotely, work hybrid, work abroad. and all that, so that is there. I would say in conclusion, with hard work, with dedication, with focus, know what you want and go for it. I have a saying lately is that opportunities does not recognize excuse. Okay, so when opportunity comes, it does not recognize your excuse. I'm a Christian, so forgive me. I'm trying to look for a story to help this thing, but the story I can remember is just a story in the Bible. So if you're not a Christian, forgive me, but just take it as a story that I hope you get it. So this story goes that there's a particular pool that an angel goes and stirs it up every time, and then whoever goes in there first will get healed. That's the story. But unfortunately, one day Jesus went to this place and met a man there. I said, "Oh, what's up? What are you doing here?" And the man did not see that as an opportunity for himself to leave that place. But all he was saying was excuses. I don't have anybody. I don't know how to put it. When I'm trying to get there, somebody will do another. So what I'm trying to say is that opportunity, don't listen to your excuses. The opportunity that you can't dress well, opportunity that you can't do this. They don't, opportunity don't listen to you can't dress well, you can't do this, you don't have a car, you don't listen. Opportunity don't listen to it. The opportunity listen to I'm here, I'm ready, and you embrace it. Okay. So I wanted to say that if you put this as this is an opportunity for me to do something better and you go for it that way, you would find it rewarding in the end. That leads me to the last point, which is don't delay. Start now. Jump in the pool. I mean, find yourself every inch of motivation that you can to put yourself forward and go for it. You deserve it. You deserve it. So go for it. You deserve a better life. You deserve a good life. And if you're looking to transition into tech, have flexibility with your family, have a better earning power, opportunity to, to have a better life, have a well-recognized career as well. This is that path for you. And if you are thinking, you're in Nigeria, you're already thinking next year I should be in Canada, or next year I should be in the UK, so I should be in America. I'm thinking of it. Then this is that place for you where you move to those countries and you're not going to be sweeping the floor or doing all those kind of jobs that people do just to get by. I know I'm not demeaning any job. If somebody is paying their bills, they are worse. Sorry, they are better off than somebody who is on the benefit or again, do you understand? So no, but I'm saying that you can also get into those environments and not start from the very bottom. Start from somewhere that you think is really good, So that is what I always advise. Okay. That is it. Any questions? It's at this junction I'll be asking you to clap for me, but that's just a joke. All right. So does everyone have any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Seun. Thank you.
Isa and Tech.
Thank you, Mr. Seun, for the opportunity. I'll be the first person to go. Well, others wait. So I would like to say that what are the roles that I can apply for as a data governance specialist? Like, do I just go to Indeed and then enter data governance, or would I see risk and compliance manager, or would I see cybersecurity data governance? So something, all of those tools can be, all of those roles can
Yes.
be related. You understand? That's number one. Then the second question I would like to ask is, as a lawyer, how can I bring in my transferable skills? How can I bring in my transferable skills to this role? That's number two. Then number three, I've spent 5 years in Nigeria, for example. Maybe I was just juggling a business or doing all sorts, and now I'm in United Kingdom. How do I get that confidence to apply for this managerial role? And how do I beat out that imposter syndrome? Those are the three questions I have for you.
I need a extra sheet for your question. Okay.
I'm just helping them. I'm sure that Everybody is
Yeah.
coming up with their
Yeah,
questions.
question. All right.
So rather than typing the question, I think we can unmute our mic when you are ready. But what I would like you to do is raise up your hand so that it's coordinated and it's not rowdy. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. To answer your questions, there are addendum roles or positions within IT. Like you mentioned, cybersecurity is wide, and so I can say that rather than me saying cybersecurity, I would say you can do stuff like data protection, compliance officer, can be a compliance officer, can be a GDPR officer, it can be a DPO, yes, with the CEO for the company. Okay, it can be a data quality analyst, data quality manager. Okay, you can be data migration manager, data engineer. You can do some other addendum that you can do based on your other set skills. The next one you said act was that you are a lawyer. What are your transferable skills? The transferable skills are your compliance knowledge. You're already a lawyer. You know rules. You interpret laws, and then you apply it. That is how you be able to understand what laws, what compliance. For example, if you're asked to work in a bank, what are the compliance laws that operate in that environment? How should we treat PII, personal identifiable information, like your name? What are those GDPR, GDPR rules, okay, that goes to guard those sort of information? Do you understand? You'll be able to use that your skills to formulate policies for the company to say, this is how we should do this, this is what we should do, and stuff like that, and then give it to the company. All right. So those are transferable skills. For some people who might be in business before, you are doing business, you are attending to people, you are making sales, you are on stuff, you are already doing customer service, you are dealing with people. That's great because they're interacting with people already. That's skills you can bring on board. How to sell, you're selling to people, maybe you're selling rice, but now you're not selling rice, you're selling policies, you're selling ideas, you're bringing people to have certain conversations and stuff like that. So no skill is like throw it away. That you can find a way to adapt it in your working understanding in your new role and also your CV. How do you transmit that into your CV instead of you can do this and that, So yeah. And the last thing is forgot.
Yeah,
That,
okay, I'll help you. I'm out to fight imposter syndrome.
oh,
Because
okay.
yes, imagine I'm coming from Nigeria and it's a managerial role. How am I so confident to apply for this role? How would I be able to, um excel in a white dominated, environment?
Yeah. What I would say is that I remember one of the prerequisites that I told in the start of this class or this webinar is that be bold, be courageous. All right. Don't think you don't have what it takes or have that impostor. I'll first drum it into you, be bold. Be bold. One. Two is that the sort of coaching that we give you, like in your interview prep and all this stuff, is to build in you confidence that you have what it takes now to get the job and go do it. And also, don't forget that even if you pass your interview, you have a start date and you're sitting down there, you can always fall back and say, I've asked you to do this. This is what I think it means. This is what I want to do. Do you think that is the direction? You can always call back, ask questions, through and all that. We're not going to throw you away and say, don't ever let me see you again or something like that. You can always come back to ask, say, I hope I'm doing this right. I give you those tips to say that, oh, that is great. Do this way, or do it that way, or that is what they're expecting. Or, I always say something, don't answer the wrong question. Okay, before you go on writing extra sheet, and you realize that you're answering the wrong question, always ask, be sure that this is the right answer for the question. So you can always make sure that you are clear on your deliverables before you start progressing. Another, so I might even lead to say, go and ask this question. That's what business analysts are. They always question, so that you are clear on the deliverable and what the expectation is. All right. So you will not be alone. You will not die imposter stuff. that will take a confidence on your part. You know, you're not less of any white person. You're not less. You're not less. You know, you are secured in yourself. You have what it takes and all that. You have a good attitude. You have a good character. And that they need you. The reason why they're bringing you is because they need you. They need you to come and help them solve a problem. So see yourself as you're fortunate, you're blessed, you're solving a problem. That's why they have you here and all that. So don't put yourself down like, no, you are enough. You are enough. All right. So that's how you kill that sin. Of course, like I said, you have help to say that I'm feeling this way. You know, that community is what is there to help you, you know, to say that, okay, uh, think what I'm doing, do you think this is a good answer? You know, there's one of my mentees that has a presentation in their office in recent times, 2 weeks ago, something like that, on certain stuff that, and then she said, can we do some roundtable discussion? And we're like 4 of us came together and pulled and have a banter like, she said, this is what the topic is. What do you think? And we all bring ideas and what we think direction or the approach you can use. And so she had different, different brains, pick different brains to come into that conversation. And then she did well in her presentation. She was really pleased. We're pleased for her too, but that is what opportunity you have. So to know that you are not on your own. All right. So is that any
Yes, that answers it. I have a question from Blessing. She
okay?
says she understands the course is for a duration and time. Yes, we don't do recorded for now. So what happens if you miss a class? The class is actually once in a week, but at a stretch of 4 hours, right? And if you miss a class, it means that you can always get the recording. You can always get the recording of the class, but you will not get rescheduled. We can maybe do like a recap in the next class, but you will definitely get the recording of the class. That's how it works. Blessing, let's not forget that all our facilitators are professionals, right, on their at their place of work. So, going back and forth might not necessarily work for everyone. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, you actually answered well. So
Yes, thank you.
the classes
Yeah,
are
you're welcome.
recorded. The
You're
classes
welcome.
are recorded. So if you miss the class, you can always watch to listen to what the class is. And if you have a question after that, you can always email to say, can I explain this or something like that? And then in the next class, we can do a recap of that. All right.
Don,
Um,
Don has a question. Please go ahead. Unmute your mic and go ahead, please.
Hello, good morning.
good
Can you
morning.
hear me? Yeah,
Good
okay.
morning.
For those based in the UK, and we know how big the UK is with GDPR and their policies, do you have to have the basic knowledge or understanding of GDPR to go into data governance?
It's one of those things that you would learn. Yes, GDPR is very simple. It's not anything big at all. It's one of those things that one of those courses, sub-courses within data governance that you would do. All right. I would even lead you into what certifications you can do in GDPR to have, you know. So GDPR is that you have to have knowledge of what information should be private and what information you need subject access subject what do you call it, data subject, yeah, permission, you know. However, some organization you work for might not even require you to do anything on GDPR, but it's good for your knowledge to know, you know, like some organizations would have audit and risk, and there might be people, in the risk that are monitoring like DPIA and stuff like that on this thing. But you as a person should know, because when you're interacting with data, you're also referring to, if you're not the one doing GDPR, for example, you're already saying, oh, as Smith saying this, is Smith aware of this is going to be part of the data you're going to be collecting for this project? And have you done a DPIA assessment to see stuff like that? So it's good for you to know.
All right, thank you so much.
Well,
Question answered.
but you don't need you don't need GDPR certification to work in data governance. You don't need it. However, it's a good knowledge to have. Because
Okay. Miriam just asked that she's in Nigeria and she's curious. Please, what is GDPR?
it's general data protection regulation. is the regulation that restricts organizations from using people's data without their consent. You know, like how Facebook can use your data to spam you because they know where you live, what your credit card number is, what the name of your next of kin, what all those stuff. How people can just use those data, without even you knowing about it. So it's law that restrict organizations now from capitalizing on people releasing their data to use it anyhow. So they need your consent. They call it data subject access. You need to request for those permissions to be able to use it. That's what GDPR is. And also that people need to not use those data for what they have not asked. For example, if we said we want to use your data in doing a research for cancer, you can't use that data in using research for leukemia or insomnia or whatever. No, it's for cancer, and that's it. So that's what GDPR is. Yeah, Mohammed. Latifat, right? Latifat Mohammed. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. I just wanted to contribute to the question on GDPR. In Nigeria, we have it as NDPR, the Data Privacy Regulation. So the GDPR is global. So most companies, most multinational companies already have GDPR implemented because of their network or parent company. So in Nigeria, we have it as the National Data Protection Regulation, NDPR here in Nigeria. So I just wanted to add to it and already explain what it does. Is just to be sure that private and personal information are not shared are not granted unauthorized access or information.
Good. Come up for Nigeria. I hope we are using it. That's another bad.
Yeah, yes, we are highly regulated companies do it. We often carry out audits on it.
Yeah.
So there are audits on it. I think there's also DPIA.
Yeah.
So they are actually companies in Nigeria are actually implementing all of these processes now.
That's good news. Do you work in the NDPR?
No. I work in a professional servicing firm, an audit firm. So.
Okay. Well done.
Thank you.
You're on track.
So thank you for that, Latifat. So I have a question from Mudupe. She says, oh, she joined in very late and she works in the bank as the head of operations and compliance officer. So we do trainings on GDPR. So she currently works as the head of operations and compliance officer. Can she take the course? Is it a good fit for her?
Yeah, absolutely. Like we were talking about how transferable skills are. Yeah, so your compliance officer is just like you're a police, right? You're police in your organization, making sure, and that's what data governance is. Part of what data governance is. The only thing that data governance is broader in that's compliance that you're doing is not in only one aspect. It's not you're checking compliance across security, master data, metadata. You are checking the use of it. Your compliance criteria is wide. You are checking the quality of that data. Do you understand? Compliance might only be a regulatory compliance you're checking if but you're not only doing that. You want to be sure that even if you are meeting regulation, is that data, is it correct? Are we having a good day, a correct accurate data that we can trust? Is it fit? Can we make judgment? Can we make right judgment based on this data? That is what you're thinking about. Okay, so it's quite fit for you, so it's like, yes, good, go for it. I'm just seeing a question on the screen.
Yeah, any certifications required? Okay, then another question. Oh, lots of questions are coming in. So Mr. Seun says I was off the meeting during the conclusion slide. Okay, I have a few questions. When is the cohort starting? It starts on May 20. Right, May 20. We want just few people in class so that it can be conversational and everybody can bring in their ideas and ask questions, right? Are there special tools to be learned aside Microsoft? Yes, you learn Colibra. I'm sure Mr. Sean will chip in some more answers.
Yeah.
Is there any certification required? Yes, it is free also, but we'll guide you on how to write the certification. One of our students have already passed as, so don't be scared. Don't think it's like a big deal. The second question from Miriam is like, how about someone like me who is majored in microbiology presently? How do I fit into data governance? So you majored in microbiology. Have you had any work experience at all? Or are you a fresh graduate? Please let us know so that we can see how you can be positioned for this role. But Mr. Sean, please, you can help out with the other questions.
Well, I think you've done a good job of answering the question. So she is correct. Can only say yes. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's different angle for in answering the question. So I'll just let it be like that. So because there are certifications that you can do that will help you in. Once you come in, we'll help you into you can do this, you can do this, you can, yeah. Olamide, Cicinos. Good afternoon.
Hi. So you've seen my question. I didn't want to have to speak up.
I'm just looking at your question now. Okay, if you want to transfer from nursing, you already doing a lot of compliance in nursing, for example, you already do care nursing. So nurses are usually good with people in terms of interaction, explain medication, care and all stuff like so. Your interpersonal skills is already good. You're already good with metrics with medications, metrics with timing and stuff like that, which is great. Because some of the things that you'll be doing in this job, you'll be aware of timelines of certain policies, when you should change this policy, when they need to review, when processes change, what should follow them. Should those processes be followed with some sort of guide or SOPs, or when there's a problem in the company and you fix those problems, what comes after that? Should your what do you call that now? Resolution after those of problems, resolution of those problems, would it bring a change in person, a change in process, a change in technology and stuff like that? Those are some of the stuff that's you doing. So if you're thinking of transferable skills, I think you have it. Administrative skills would be like you're already doing a lot of admin things, you're writing, you're taking case notes and updating them and stuff like that, That's one of the things you should be doing in governance. So difference is just that it's in different environments. It's not in health environment. But even if you work in an environment, because there are opportunities also in an environment, it won't be like in a hospital setting with the patients, to be on the data side.
Thank you.
Of course, you can always post me if you.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, welcome. What are the certifications required to become a data governance analyst? There are no certifications required. Okay, there are no certifications required, but certifications can help strengthen your CV. All right, certifications can strengthen your CV. Forgive me, I'm just putting a plug in here. That you can just strengthen your CV so that your CV is not like you have this knowledge and all that. Do you understand? Always remember that the reason why I said I'm always learning is just because you are always going to be having people come on the scene, so you want to make sure that you are, like I said before, opportunities will not listen to your excuse. I've said it that you don't need a certification to become a data analyst, right? But I've also said to you that do the certifications that are free and you can do them and add it to your CV. So why wouldn't you want to do them? Do them, because if it now comes to the shove that you have just two people's last man standing and they feel like, what should we look at to pick this person? Oh, this person, that person, that doesn't, right? That could be to your advantage. See what I mean? So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they can put you. There is fundamentals, the governance fundamentals that is done through Informatica, fundamentals of governance done, and data stewardship done in Colibra. Alation, I have this. All these digital providers have some sort of subject stuff. You can even have those some on LinkedIn. LinkedIn also have fundamentals, data governance that you can do and put in your CV. Yeah, there are also some data institutes like DAMA, like Open Data Institute and stuff like that, that they also have their own training that you can also, even though you actually to pay for it. But they are just telling you just have this and say that you get something from this place and to strengthen your stuff, but you don't need those things to work. But of course you can have them. Why not? So we introduce you to those free ones, but of course we also introduce you to the paid one. If you want to go for them, why not go for them? The course is starting next Saturday, 4 p.m.
That's 4 to 8 p.m., right? No, 4
Yeah,
to 9. No,
yeah,
4 to 8 p.m.
yeah. So next week
Oh,
Saturday.
because okay, you know the hour, it's now 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. because the clock has changed now. So it
Okay,
used to be 1 hour ahead of
behind
China.
or ahead
Yeah.
or so we're same
Yes.
time now.
So in Nigeria, that's 5 p.m. West African time to
Okay.
9 p.m. So is it the same with you, Mr. Seun, at UK?
I think we're at the same time with Nigeria now. These are
Yeah,
we're
so it's 5 p.m.
5 p.m. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 p.m. So on Thursdays for 6 weeks, it's 350, and 350 we accept installment payments. We accept installment payments too to make it easy for you.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. So you meet once a week, but
Excuse me, 350 what? Naira?
350,000 naira, not 350 naira. And not 350 pounds in naira. 350. But if you choose to make payments in dollars, yes, we accept dollars too. There's a link for that. So that will be $650, 650 USD. But in naira, 350,000 naira. I hope I answered your question.
Sorry, please, does this include the certification exam, or it's just for the class?
The certifications that you will do, right? They are the free ones. So yes, it includes that. We lead you to those free certifications you're going to do. The ones that you're not going to, that are not free, you will pay for. We'll let you know. You can pay for them if you want to, but they are free ones that you can do, which will to be part of the class. All right.
And it's also industry recognized. So
Yes.
don't think because you are not making payments, then it's not a big deal. Yeah, and then for Miriam, who said she works as a microbiologist and has not really had work experience. Miriam, can you tell us why you want to become a data governance specialist? Is this something you really, really like? Would you be willing to at least maybe work as an intern before you actually get the real job, or do you have plans to go for a master's program just to boost your qualification? Because we hate to lead you on and tell you that yes, 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 you can do it, but in the real time, it's actually it might not be what will work for you at this time. So Miriam, you can just share your plans with us so that we can guide you on how to achieve your goal.
Okay. So Miriam, from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, because it's a managerial role.
If there are no more questions, then I would be saying thank you so much for coming. Let me just be sure that there are no more questions in the group.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for showing up in such a short time.
Let's Oluseun Balogun, thanks for joining. Adepeju Adeleke, thanks for joining. Moriton, thanks for joining. Forgive me if I don't pronounce your name properly. My eyes is not in a great shape. Mo Bolarewa, Ifi, Oluwaseun Okesola, Moru, Yejide, thanks for coming. Miriam, Ifi, Chidinma, thank you all for coming. All right.
Yeah,
So,
thank you, everyone, and have a nice holiday. I'm sorry, nice weekend.
Chidera, no, it's not starting today. It's starting next week.
It's not starting today, it's starting next week. So you have some time to book your seats.
Yeah, it's starting next week.
All right,
Please,
yeah.
can I ask? Hello?
Hello.
Please, when is the next class after this? Is it the
So if we are in May, June, July, maybe August. Maybe August.
that will be
August.
perfect. All right. Let me
All
write.
right. Someone said, please, is GRC similar to data governance?
What is GRC?
What is GRC?
Yeah, what does a person want GRC? I'm always trying to know what question I'm answering. That's I say GRC. Someone said, no, I don't mean that GRC. That GRC is motor car. And, so what is GRC, please?
Governance risk compliance.
Governance risk compliance. Hello, Latifat, go on.
Okay, that's governance risks compliance. Is a part of cybersecurity, and if we talk about, you can't talk about cybersecurity without talking about data governance, because in some parts of, or rather, you can't talk of data governance without talking about cybersecurity, or you can't talk about security. And in data governance, there's a part where you have to classify your data and data classification. And by the time you put all these things in structure, you need you need to check the risks involved,
Yeah.
if such information is, if the policies are not in compliance with the, if you're not in compliance with the policies rather. So I think they work hand in hand.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. So that's the where things stand at the moment. You need, that's why when I was talking, somebody said they're doing compliance. I'm saying that it goes beyond compliance regulation alone. You also goes compliance in other aspects of data management life cycle, retention, for example, metadata quality, reference, even architecture as well, so I hope I've been able to add some 5% to it that way.
All right. Price in GBP. Okay, so Blessing will send the link to you. Well, the link was Stripe link accepts USD and pounds, right? So what will happen is once you make payment, it will convert it to the current GBP. Hope that explains it. So please, can you send a message to us on WhatsApp or Instagram or anywhere so we can take it up from there? Does that work for you, Blessing?
Yeah, it's fine. Thank you.
All right, you are welcome. All right. So thank you everyone once again and have a nice weekend.